When the car accident happened, my husband did not hesitate to protect his female secretary. A steel bar pierced my right arm and I was bleeding profusely. The car was about to explode, and my husband struggled to carry out the slightly injured female secretary. The rescue team rescued me before the car exploded. I saw the female secretary's dynamic in the hospital. Thank you, Mr. Hioi, for risking his life to save me. Now we can be considered as people who live and die together. Jin stayed by the bed, holding her scraped hand and wiping the wound carefully. The commentary was full of 99. I clicked a like and followed suit and replied 99, wishing them happiness forever and that we will never meet again. The main text begins. The week had passed when Jin thought of me. While I was packing my things, I was waiting for the doctor to prescribe medicine after discharge. Jin rushed in on frown when he saw the gauze on my arm. Is it serious? It pierced the muscle ligament. There will be Jin got angry and blurted out, then can you still play the piano? I looked at him steadily, and my heart was still throbbing fiercely. He never cared about me as a person. I shook my head and put the last thing into the luggage bag. Jin's shoe tip turned in a direction and said with disdain, I wasted my money to train you. He forced me to learn piano just to have face in front of friends. It cost about 2 million yuan in total, and the piano alone cost more than 1 million yuan. I don't have much talent. It's very difficult to learn, and the tuition fee is also high. I tested the weight of the bag to see if I could lift it with one hand, and then said, I will pay you back. Pay you back? Jin seemed to have heard a joke, and a smile overflowed from his throat. Didn't your money also come from me? He snatched my bag, send you home so that others won't think I'm bullying you. The bag was heavy. I didn't refute and followed him. He listened to the doctor's instructions, and his face was filled with impatience. When he left, he taunted, I told you not to follow us. Now you are seriously injured. You deserve it. He was going to take me to buy hot pot ingredients, but halfway through, his secretary Lin Mi Ao called and said that she was trapped in the suburbs and couldn't get a taxi. Jin stepped on the accelerator without asking for my opinion. On the way back, Lin Mi Ao kept distracting Jin, which led to the car accident. In order to protect Lin Mi Ao and himself, Jin put all the dangers on my side. I had the chances to avoid this accident. In the past, I would have argued with him with red eyes, but now I didn't want to say a word and let him criticize me in the car. Halfway through the journey, Lin Miao called in Jin connected the Bluetooth in the car. The doctor asked me to go for a re-examination and get medicine last time, but I forgot. Tomorrow is the weekend. Can you go with me now? The voice was delicate. Jin said yes without hesitation. At the fork in the road ahead, go straight to Lin Miao's house, and then turn back to my own home. Jin glanced at me and said, You just hurt your hand. Don't be so pretentious. I calmly accepted the fact that I was kicked out of the car. The path he took was far away from the downtown area. I waited for more than 20 minutes under the scorching sun, and there were no taxis. After walking for an hour with the weight on my shoulders, the gauze was soaked with sweat and blood when I got home. Jin sent me a message asking me to some creme a la soup. I reluctantly lifted the cloth stuck to the wound and finally faced up to my position. When Jin came back, I was changing the dressing for the second time. He saw my hideous wound, and his eyes were moved for a moment, but he still asked, Is the creme a la soup pretty? Lin Miao needs to be nourished. There is no creme a la at home, and it is not convenient for me. I grimaced at the stimulation of the medicine. Jin paused, then started to mock again. It's just an injury to your hand, and you can't even cook. It's useless for me to marry you. You can't work in the living room or in the kitchen. In the 5 years of marriage, I have been conscientious and played the role of a housewife. When Jin was hungry at 3 and I would get up and cook him a midnight snack. When Lin Miao wanted to eat the buns from Nanshang, I would get up at 5:30 to queue up. It was the first time that I ignored Jin's request. I didn't say anything back, and Jin seemed a little surprised. Why are you so silent today? As he spoke, he put the cake in his hand over. I bought it specially for you. This box of cake appeared in Lin Miao's Dynamics an hour ago, and the store gave me the strawberry flavor that I hate the most. The gift he didn't like to eat became a gift bought specially for me. A wave of Bitterness surged in my heart. Huo Jin still didn't remember that I was allergic to strawberries. Forget it, I don't like it. Huo Jin, who was helping me to tear off the gauze, was startled. He didn't control the strength of his hand well. I subconsciously pulled my hand away in pain, and my elbow hit the cake, and the box rolled to the ground. The cream was all over the ground, and the bright red strawberry lost its shape. Huo Jin was furious. If you don't like it, don't waste food like this. It's just a little injury on your hand. You have to make a fuss, right? I sighed and got up to wipe the mess on the ground. I can't keep smelling the strawberry. Jin looked at my awkward movements coldly and interrupted impatiently. Don't pretend. I'll call a cleaner later, okay? Don't you just want to be the victim? I don't let you work, is it okay? You are not jealous of Lin Miao again, are you? She works hard. What's wrong with asking you to cook some creme Ella soup for her? What are you thinking about every day? Can you do your job well? I have forgotten how many times Huo Jin and I have quarreled. Since Lin Miao was born, we have quarreled almost every 3 days. I asked him why he smelled like Lin Miao's perfume, and he disliked me for being too nosy. Huo Jin told me from the day we got married that my mission was to be a good wife who supported him wholeheartedly. He disliked that I didn't look as good as Lin Miao in appearance and figure and mocked me for not knowing anything except cooking, and that my value could only be realized in the family. Every time he saw me crying, he always showed a condescending and sympathetic expression. But this time I didn't want to quarrel. The fresh strawberry smell stimulated my nose to itch, and soon I began to have difficulty breathing, and my blocked nose made me breathless. Huo Jin thought I was crying again. It's like this every time, really. Before I finished speaking, I saw dense red rashes on my face. I squeezed out two words with difficulty before I fainted allergy. When I woke up, Huo Jin was guarding the bed. He felt a little guilty. Sorry, I didn't know you were allergic to strawberries. Really didn't know. The first time I was allergic was when he picked strawberries for team building. I didn't want to go, and he said I was putting on airs. In the strawberry shed, I vomited all over the floor and was taken away by an ambulance. He hated me for embarrassing myself in front of the employees. The second time was when Lin Miao was dividing the fruit and cut into my hand, and it was strawberries. Huo Jin said that if I didn't eat them, I was being disrespectful. I was sent to the emergency room again, and he didn't even look at me. He just didn't care. It doesn't matter. I shrugged, looking indifferent. Huo Jin was probably feeling a little guilty and touched his nose, embarrassed to lie. What do you want to eat? I'll buy it for you. I glanced at the moonlight outside the window and refused. No, I'm tired. You should go back to bed early too. Huo Jin laughed. How can a patient drive his caregiver away? Did you give Lin Miao the creme Ella soup she wanted? If not, don't waste my time. Anyway, I'm in the hospital for 7 days and you're not here. I can be alone. Huo Jin was immediately furious. So you have to be so fussy, right? Don't you know how busy I am in the company? Didn't I pay for your hospitalization? Didn't I come to pick you up when you were discharged from the hospital? What else do you want? Besides, Lin Miao's face was injured. She is a little girl at the age of loving beauty. What's wrong with me caring about her more? You just injured your hand. Do you have to let the whole world know about it to be satisfied? I watched him talk and felt puzzled. I was just caring about them normally. But I really didn't want to waste too much time arguing with him, so I said seriously, I'm sorry. Oh, you've learned to be sarcastic. I'm leaving lest some people take advantage of me. Huo Jin stood up, glared at me fiercely, and slammed the door and left. When I got up at night, I received news that he had stayed overnight at Lin Miao's house, and there were also explicit photos. In the past, whenever we had a quarrel, he would go to Lin Miao and send me a lot of provocative words. Then I couldn't resist apologizing and begging for peace, preparing a table of food for him, and letting him mock and trample on my dignity. But now I don't care. As soon as I was discharged from the hospital, I consulted a lawyer about divorce matters. Although I haven't worked for 5 years, according to the market price, a live-in nanny costs at least 10,000 yuan a month, and some of the money is the salary I deserve. I put all my attention on the lawyer's analysis of how to get the most property division. Before, I would rather leave the house with nothing than leave Huo Jin. I have loved him for 15 years, and this habit has long been engraved in my bones. Being good to him is like an antidote to my drug addiction, and I can't let go. It's just that when the car accident happened, he subconsciously protected Lin Miao. When I was afraid that the car would explode, he hugged Lin Miao without looking back. In the hospital for 7 days, he accompanied Lin Miao to wander around. Something suddenly became clear to me. It has always been myself who trapped me. Hu Jin and I fell into a formal Cold War. For 3 days, I didn't send a single word of condolence. The company's chat group suddenly tagged me. Lin Miao sent a video of the company's team building. She and Huo Jin held hands and stood in the center of the crowd, just like a couple in love. Sister Suhi, it's a pity that you are not here. Logically speaking, the company would not frequently go out for team building twice a month. I guess it should be Lin Miao's blatant provocation. No one in the group responded. Those employees knew that Huo Jin was my husband, but over the past year or so, they also knew Lin Miao's status. It was awkward to speak for either side. I livened up the atmosphere, it's not a pity. I just need to cultivate myself so as not to be a light bulb for you. Lin Miao quickly sent a wronged expression back. Huo Jin's phone rang at the right time. He said with a mocking tone, "What, are you angry?" I was very calm. "No, you guys have fun. Now you are learning advanced skills playing hard to get, right? Don't think I don't know. You must have been secretly paying attention to me. I didn't bring you with me for this team building, so you're going to be upset again, right? Are you going to come and catch people by yourself or wait for me to come back and threaten me with divorce?" Huo Jin didn't believe me, and I was also a little troubled by his arrogance, but it was true. It was true that though it well before. I paused and replied, "Wait for you to come back and get a divorce. I won't bother you for now." Huo Jin's excited tone of guessing the answer jumped out. I said, "How could you not contact me for 3 days?" I complained in my heart that he was childish and hung up the phone. I went to see a few more apartment types, and the money in the card was enough to buy a small apartment. 5 days later, Huo Jin's team building was over, and my divorce agreement had been drafted. He called me first and asked me to make the claypot rice and bring it to a company 20 kilometers away because Lin Miao was not used to the takeout there. For the first time, I refused openly. "I don't want to do it. I'll wait for you to come back to discuss something." "Suhi, you are so capable. If you don't come, I will never go home in my life. I know very well that Huo Jin is the one who can really do such a thing." In order to solve the divorce problem quickly, I still gritted my teeth and took a taxi there. When I arrived, it was already dinner time. Lin Miao was acting coquettously with Huo Jin that she was hungry. Huo Jin touched her head lovingly. "It's almost time. Wait a little longer." The staff of other companies didn't understand and looked envious. Mr. Huo really dotes on his wife. When this sentence fell, Huo Jin happened to see me. His face froze, and he moved his hand away. Lin Miao came over sweetly. "Sister Suhi, where is our meal?" Another sighed beside him. "That's great. They even let the assistant deliver the meal." I narrowed my eyes and walked straight to Huo Jin. "I want to tell you something." Lin Miao looked around for a long time but didn't see what she wanted. She acted very aggrieved in front of Huo Jin. "Sister Suhi, where is our meal? After tossing around here for a whole morning, Mr. Huo and I are almost starving to death." I really wanted to ask her what I should be responsible for, but when I saw Huo Jin's eyes wanting to help speak, I didn't want to argue. Anyway, it was all my fault. I couldn't pull him away, and he lectured me angrily again. I looked around and simply put the divorce agreement directly into his hand. "Stop making trouble. Let's get a divorce." The expressions of the staff next to him became extremely wonderful. Huo Jin's face was full of disbelief. He weighed the divorce agreement and saw the crowd of spectators secretly looking at us and dragged me out with a dark face. "Suhi, you are good at revenge." He said this almost with gritted teeth. I looked at him calmly. "Are you blaming me?" I kept silent. Huo Jin seemed to be so angry that he laughed. "Do you know why they think you are my assistant? Look at your clothes and appearance. How is it suitable to stand with me? I brought Lin Miao out because she can support me, you know. If I bring you, I don't know how much face I will lose." I looked down at my casual style, which was quite comfortable. In fact, I can also dress like Lin Miao if I don't have to cook and do housework for Huo Jin every day. He has mysophobia and dislikes nannies, so he puts all the work on me. I have quarreled with him many times because of this. Every time I wear a skirt and put on makeup, he accuses me of seducing men everywhere. He is really difficult to please. I cleared my throat in motion for him to pay more attention to the content of the agreement. He slammed the document on my face and raised his voice because I took Lin Mi out to play without asking you. You are making trouble with me again, right? Believe it or not, I will sign it now and let you cry and beg me. I smiled bitterly and handed him a pen. I couldn't ask for more. Huo Jin stared at me blankly for 3 seconds before shaking off my hand and muttering, "You are sick." Len Hao is looking over here, and he walked past me and hugged her in. We fell into a cold war again. I urged him several times, but he didn't say anything. It was not until 3 days later that Huo Jin called me angrily. "Suhi, where the hell did you move to?" My first reaction was that he had just returned home. When I left, I cleaned up everything I had used, including all kinds of kitchen utensils. The entire large flat was probably half empty. I lazily replied, "The divorce agreement is on the table. Sign it when you have time." "You're not done yet, are you? There should be a limit to what you do." The comfort of not having to take care of him for the past few days gave me confidence. "Don't talk nonsense. Sign the divorce quickly." There was a pause on the other end of the phone, and Huo Jin suddenly laughed. "Suhi, you have to divide loft property in the divorce. If you leave, how can I live?" "Why are you being stubborn here?" I could only mention the thing he was most reluctant to remember. "I paid more than half of the money to start the company. Not counting the profit, the principal is 800,000, and I have taken care of you for the past 5 years. The monthly salary is less than 5 figures. It's hard to find such a nanny. I gave all the inheritance left by my parents to Huo Jin. For a long time, there were always people who laughed at him for being a gigolo. This matter was very taboo in his eyes. I never mentioned it, but I had to mention it today." Sure enough, Huo Jin hung up the phone in anger. He didn't contact me again, nor did he sign, but his interaction with Lin Miao was particularly frequent. After thinking things through, no matter how they showed off, it couldn't affect my mood. The Cold War lasted for another week, and my lawyer sent him a notice of prosecution. The next time I saw him was when I came back from buying groceries. Huo Jin stood against the wall. His tie and clothes were in a mess, and he looked very tired. "Suhi, you've gone too far." His first words were still accusing me. I thought about it and contacted the property security. Huo Jin was furious. "I'm your husband." Seeing that I didn't buy it, he lowered his posture again. "Come back, stop making trouble. I miss you very much." "Sorry, I'm not interested in you." I pointed to the surveillance again. "If you do something extreme, it will just become evidence of my divorce." Huo Jin looked at me as if he didn't know me. After the security came, he also left obediently. But since then, he would appear at my door every day with the chestnut cakes I liked to eat and a meal that I had to cook for him. Huo Jin became attentive, just like when we first got married. He said he loved me very much. But all this came too late and became an unnecessary burden for me. The two of us were in a stalemate for more than half a month. He was so soft to me, just like a husband with deep affection, but I couldn't feel any waves in my heart. I must have found my humble appearance just as ridiculous to him. There was a small problem in the company, so Huo Jin had to give up his usual behavior of blocking me. When we met again, Lin Miao was there. My hand injury had almost recovered, and I took on the cooking business in the community group. Thanks to Huo Jin's picky mouth, my cooking skills are very good, which attracted the neighbor across the street to eat for free, and then he asked for a monthly package. I thought it was just a matter of an extra pair of chopsticks, so I agreed. The news spread far and wide, and many young people also wanted the package meals, and I was happy to enjoy their emotional value. This time I took a big order, a dinner for more than 10 people. Huo Jin used to do this kind of thing when he just started, and I was very skilled in dealing with it. I just didn't expect that the order was placed by Lin Miao. When I came to the door with a large bag of ingredients, Lin Maya's heavy makeup couldn't hide her ridicule. Why is Mr. Huo's wife doing cooking services? I think this marriage cannot be divorced. Soon a girl about her age laughed. I took a look at the decoration inside the house. It should be a homestay, which means that Lin Miao did it on purpose. I won't divorce you, so you're going to be a lover who can't see the light of day for the rest of your life. Lin Maya's face changed, and I said again, it's better to earn money with your own hands than to be the good person for someone else. Su-hee, Lin Miao screamed, Mister. Who doesn't love you? Who do you think you are? You don't deserve him at all. Okay, you're the only one who deserves him, okay? Are you going to eat or not? If not, I'll return the money. I left the purchased food. Lin Miao was about to speak, but suddenly her face changed, covering her legs and shouting, Sister Su-hee, I really didn't do anything. Why did you hit me so hard? I had a question mark on my face, and then I saw Huo Jin flashing over like a gust of wind. He carefully supported Lin Miao, and I was hit against the wall by the force, touching the old wound on my hand, which hurt my skin and flesh. Huo Jin scolded me. Su-hee, what do you want? Lin Miao nestled in his arms a grieved lie, sobbing softly. I really didn't expect that it was Sister Su-hee who came to our house to cook. Otherwise, I wouldn't dare to let her come even if I had 10 times the courage. Her friend added fuel to the fire and portrayed me as a complete. I covered my hands and planned to contact the property management, check the surveillance, and see what I just did. Lin Miao was obviously lacking in confidence, and Huo Jin saw it. He wanted to admit his mistake, but because of his face, he finally let go of Lin Miao and asked me in a muffled voice, why do you do such an indecent thing? Can't I support you at home? I asked back, cooking is an indecent thing? Then, isn't it the same? If I go back to cook for you, Huo Jin's face darkened. Of course it's different when you cook for me. Of course, I will only be looked down upon if I cook for you. Not only will I get money, but I will also be praised for cooking for others. Huo Jin was very angry, and Lin Miao replied at the right time. Sister Su-hee, you are too hurtful to President Huo by doing this. I interrupted her. Shut up first. When I leave in the future, you will have to inherit my position as a cook. I took the money in front of Lin Miao again. When I was about to leave, Huo Jin grabbed me. I know you care about me. Today is Lin Miao's birthday. I saw you were nearby, so I came here. How about this? I'll take you out to eat, and don't be so fussy. He was trying to make peace, but he didn't forget to belittle me. I looked up at Lin Miao's reluctant face and smiled. I won't be a light bulb anymore. I'll get the certificate as soon as possible and celebrate her birthday openly. I once again refuted Huo Jin's face, and he chased me all the way to the downstairs of my house. He tried his best to suppress his anger and looked aggrieved. Su-hee, why can't you be more open-minded? I felt puzzled. I am willing to give way to you and Lin Miao. What else do you want? And became anxious. There is nothing between me and Lin Miao. She is just one of my subordinates. I just think she is good looking. Taking her out to discuss cooperation can help to maintain the appearance. I bring more business to the company to make money. Isn't it also for you to live a good life? I can't accept this big pot. You go out to play with her, take her gifts. This scene really needs people everywhere. Huo Jin lowered his head and fell into deep pain. Those photos are deliberately to stimulate you. I just want you to come back soon. I was successfully disgusted by Huo Jin's brain circuit. Maybe he would be proud of it every time he used this method to make me feel a sense of crisis. I pushed him expressionlessly. Please make way. Huo Jin didn't move at all. The neighbors around me were familiar with me and soon came over to ask if I needed help. I nodded immediately and said I was her aunt. Huo Jin seemed to have suffered a great injustice. He asked hoarsely in the midst of the rebuke, you still have me in your heart, right? I was annoyed when I heard it. Huo Jin, who are you pretending to be like this for? In the past, when I quarreled with him, I became more and more aggrieved and couldn't breathe smoothly, and he would ask me this question. Now, it's strange to say this to him, and I also saw the hurt expression on his face. I squeezed into the elevator with the help of my neighbors. Huo Jin was stopped outside and couldn't chase me in. His message popped up soon, all of which were some hypocritical apologies that couldn't be said, asking me if I could give him another chance to perform. I didn't reply, and he called me frantically again. I was annoyed by the quarrel, so I turned off my phone directly. After waking up, I looked at my phone again, and Huo Jin transferred a large sum of money to me. This is your pocket money. Come back and stop making trouble. I will support you for life. I smiled bitterly. The impression I left on Huo Jin was still too bad, and he actually said something like supporting me. Facts have proved that only when you make money yourself can you have confidence. The neighbor next door was going on a business trip for 3 days and asked me to help feed the cat. It was a simple task, so I quickly agreed. His house was very tidy, except for a kitten with hair scattered everywhere. When we cooked on the first day, he told me that he picked up the cat and didn't know how to raise it, but he didn't want to see it wandering. I guess he must be an elite in a certain field, and he dressed more formally than Huo Jin every day. The first time I knew his name was when Huo Jin injured my arm again. The pain made me loosen my hand when I took the pot off the stove, and the soup splashed all over the floor. I just caught up with him when he came back. There was no blame, only concern. Are you okay? It's just a minor injury. I'll go back to your place with medicine. Don't delay your work. But he was very serious. You have been burned and blistered. If you don't treat it well, you will leave scars. Work is not comparable to this. I learned it on the way that his name was Jim Yuli. As his name suggests, he has a faint pine scent and a very clean feeling. I remembered that I was not good at cooking before, and after my hands were scalded and swollen, Huo Jin's first reaction was that he delayed his meal. Over time, I seemed to have lost the ability to be loved. Jin Yuli thought that my accident happened at his house and it was considered a work injury. He accompanied me to see the doctor and gave me a subsidy, and he didn't let me continue cooking. This time, I was very careful when feeding the cat for him. Huo Jin was quiet for a few days. When I came out of Jim Yuli's house, he pushed me aside and rushed in. He walked eagerly to the bedroom as soon as he entered the door. Huo Jin, are you sick? I grabbed him. His eyes were bloodshot. Where did you hide the man? Tell me. You divorced me just to be with this bastard, right? I was confused by this, and he pushed me away again and looked around. I hit my waist due to weightlessness and didn't get up from the spot. Jim Yuli came back at this time with his suitcase still in his hand and hurried over to ask me what was wrong. Huo Jin rushed over, but his fist that was about to hit someone got stuck in my dress. Mister. Jim Yuli raised an eyebrow at him. Mister. Huo Jin looked at me in surprise and finally stammered, I heard that my wife stayed over at your house tonight, so I came to check. Every time I take a shower, I go to see the kitten's condition. I don't know who is spreading the news like this. But I also find it ironic, Huo Jin, you have a dirty heart, so everything you see is dirty. Huo Jin's face turned pale. This is how he treated me when he stayed over at Lin Maya's place. Today, the boomerang actually hit me. He exchanged a few more pleasantries with Jim Yuli, and I took the opportunity to go back and lock the door. Huo Jin was guarding outside the whole time, but I turned a deaf ear to him, and he didn't leave until the next day. He slept in the corridor for a night, and his disheveled blocked the door I was about to close. Suhi, let's talk. If you want to talk about the divorce, I don't have time for the rest. Huo Jin became very hurt, but soon became tough. Then come home with me, and I will discuss the property distribution with you. I thought that if we didn't reach an agreement, he would definitely keep dragging it out, so I just went with him. After not coming back for a few months, the house was very different, and Lin Maya's clothes could be seen everywhere. Huo Jin hurriedly packed up. His voice was very flustered. Her house expired before, and she had nowhere to go. I took her in for a few days. We didn't do anything. She slept in the guest room. He emphasized the sentence again. I nodded absently. I had no objection to the two of them going to bed. He talked to me about a lot of things again, just like I like to share my daily life with him on weekdays. I was impatient and interrupted him. Let's talk about the property distribution directly. I don't have time. Huo Jin became lonely for a moment. He reluctantly took out the divorce agreement and began to tell me what projects the company had taken on after its establishment and how much profit it had made. I listened drowsily for half an hour and finally realized that something was wrong. So how do you plan to divide the property? Huo Jin did not answer my question. He was silent for a long time, raised his head and his eyes were slightly red. Wife, I just want to talk to you a few more words. Once upon a time, he was impatient with me every day. I was interrupted by force when I just wanted to say a few words. I also begged him, but he snorted disaffably, disliked that I had no topic with him. Now think about it. It's really, forget it. There's no way to talk. Huo Jin's eyes darkened a little bit. He was silent for a long time and suddenly asked me, So will you never come back again? I nodded, yes. Co-creation with Huo Jin failed again. When he sent me away, he regained his confidence. You chased me for 10 years before. At worst, I will chase you for another 10 years. He imitated me, asked me about my well-being at a fixed time, sent me gifts I liked, inadvertently created encounters, and created some self-righteous surprises. I realized that I was so annoying at the beginning. Huo Jin made a small fuss for a while, but found that there was no change. He started to tell me about the changes at home. I hired an Annie. She will cook and clean in the future. You just stay at home. I won't go out to drink, so you don't need to make me sober soup. By the way, you can use this card as you like. I quickly pulled my hand back. I can't afford your card. I tend to spend money recklessly. At the beginning, he also linked a relative card to me. After I used 50,000 for the first time, Huo Jin came to ask for accountability. The 50,000 was used to buy him a watch he had always wanted. What I didn't know was that he settled more than 80,000 in the bar that day. He probably remembered these unpleasant past events and put on a smile that was uglier than crying. I have changed. I really didn't have the patience to pester him, so I called Lin Miao. As soon as the call was connected, there was an angry curse from the other end. You still have the nerve to call me? What kind of fox charm did you use on Mister? He won't come to see me now. My ears hurt, so I interrupted her. Huo Jin is with me. If you want to meet, just come to the address I sent. Huo Jin snatched the phone and looked at me in disbelief. Why are you pushing me to someone else? All you do is to be with her. No, no, I only have you in my heart. Huo Jin wailed in pain. Jane Yuli came back and saw this scene and asked me, Do you have time to cook today? I nodded and was about to go in with him, but Huo Jin hurriedly grabbed me. Suhi, you can't cook for other men. He paid me. This is my job. Huo Jin blocked the door with his body. No, I can also pay you 10 times as much. You go home and cook for me. Jane Yuli suddenly said, Mr. Huo really likes to speak after the fact. He said during the previous negotiations that his wife was just a free Annie, but now he has to pay her salary again. Huo Jin opened his mouth, and he seemed unable to refute. As the two sides were pulling each other, Lin Miao rushed over. She cried and rushed into Huo Jin's arms. Boss Huo, Sister Su, he has someone else in her heart. Why are you still spoiling her like this? I understood. You spread the news that I stayed overnight at someone else's house, right? Lin Miao said confidently, You went to Boss Ji's house in your nightgown just to seduce him. As soon as she finished speaking, Huo Jin slapped her hard. Who allowed you to say that about my wife? Lin Miao covered her face and cried loudly, How can you hit me for this old woman? Look, they are together, and I am sincere to you. Lin Miao said. Huo Jin avoided her, and she pounced on nothing and fell on her face. Huo Jin hurried over to explain, Suhi, it was her wishful thinking. Yuli mocked. I didn't expect Boss Huo to place so much in private, and the person he liked was not that good. Huo Jin's face was beyond repair, and he forcibly dragged Lin Miao away. Yuli said that this was to repay the favor of feeding the kitten. You are much better than Huo Jin said. You cook delicious food. You are positive and cheerful, and you have your own brain. He said this for no reason. I was stunned for a long time and replied, Thank you. I haven't heard affirmation from others for a long time. That day, I received a call from the hospital and asked me to come over to sign. Huo Jin took Lin Miao back, and they were arguing all the time on the way. Lin Miao grabbed the steering wheel in excitement, and the car and the truck collided head-on. But this time Huo Jin left the danger to the Coppola. Lin Miao became a vegetable and Huo Jin broke 5 ribs. When he woke up, he asked to see me, but I didn't go. During the time Huo Jin was in the hospital, my life returned to normal. and more attached to me, and occasionally climbed into my house through the balcony, and Jim Yuli came to my house several times. He would also tell me some news, such as Hu Ojin's company became very unstable, Hu Ojin was injured, and he didn't have the mind to work. He always kept talking about wanting to drink the soup I stewed, and drove away several caregivers. I was a little worried. If he ruined the company, I wouldn't get a penny. I had no choice but to go see him. Hu Jin had lost a lot of weight and was very surprised to see me. Wife, I knew you couldn't let me go. No, I just came to see how long it would take for you to be discharged from the hospital and divorce me. Hu Jin pulled at his wound and grimaced in pain. Wife, it was Lin Miao who deliberately destroyed our relationship. I interrupted him. Think about it. Why would one of your subordinates dare to be so arrogant? It's all because of the confidence you gave him. Hu Jin, you asked me to serve you at home, but you never saw my value. You think I'm a commodity that can be summoned and dismissed at will. You don't care about me, so no one gives me face. You rely on me to lift yourself up, but in fact, if you do this, others will laugh at you behind your back. Hu Jin's Ogden struggled to get up and wanted to hold my hand. Wife, I know I was wrong. I will never do this again, and there will never be another woman around me. Can you give me a chance? I really never thought about breaking up with you. Lin Miao is just someone I used to support the scene. I will only take you with me in the future. The pain from the wound made him cough violently. I rang the bell to call the nurse. Take good care of yourself. Come and see me when you get better. Before leaving, I couldn't help but say, Hu Jin, you are a coward. You still have to rely on women to maintain your face. I didn't know whether it was because of the wound or my words that his face turned pale. I didn't want to listen to what he said. No matter how cruel outsiders said I was, I would not let myself be trapped in this quagmire again. I have had enough of the mental oppression for 5 years, and I broke free from this shackle. In fact, in my eyes, Hu Jin couldn't be more ordinary. While I was waiting for the opportunity to sue, something happened that was beneficial to me. Lin Mai's parents came to the door and scolded Hu Jin for ruining their daughter's life. I did some tricks, increased media coverage, and exposed all the daily boasting of this couple. The netizens who once shouted that they would be together forever turned their faces faster than turning pages of a book, and Lin Miao became a mistress that everyone hated. Her parents pestered for a while, felt ashamed, and gave up. Hu Jin was naturally hit harder. The company's shares continued to fall, and he had to force himself to deal with the aftermath. I took advantage of public opinion. I won the divorce lawsuit easily. Hu Jin chased me out, but he didn't say anything in the end. He just watched me get into the car. I could take half of Hu Jin's property, but I chose to liquidate all the real estate. Many people advised me to think twice because once I sold it, it would be a devastating blow to the company. What does it have to do with me? Originally, Hu Jin's company was going to go bankrupt 5 years ago. It was my money that kept him going. I delayed the bankruptcy for 5 years, so I am a benefactor anyway. Hu Jin was very calm when he knew I sold my shares. He seemed like a bystander, indifferent to everything. He no longer cared about the company's subsequent survival, and he kept saying that he didn't show up because his injury had not recovered. Gradually, some old employees of the company left one after another, and the business was taken away by other companies. The day of bankruptcy was much sooner than I expected. Hu Jin waited at my door in the middle of the night, still in a wheelchair. He looked emaciated because he had not eaten well for days. Every time he spoke, it seemed that he would use up all his strength. So my company is gone, and my home is gone. Can you take me in? Good guy. It turned out that he was waiting here to use a self-torture trick. I don't know how Jean Yuli heard the noise and came out, blocking me. I'm sorry, Suhi is my girlfriend. Please be respectful as my ex-husband. Hu Jin and I were both stunned, but I quickly reacted and took Jean Yuli's arm. Well, maybe we'll get married at the end of the year. If you're willing, you can come to the wedding. Hu Jin didn't say a word. He stared at us for a long time, so long that I was afraid that I would laugh and reveal myself. He pushed his wheelchair and squeezed into the elevator with difficulty. I didn't expect him to leave so easily. Jean Yuli let go of me awkwardly. I'm sorry, I was just afraid that he would continue to pester me. Thank you. We went back to our rooms. Jim Yuli suddenly called me again. Well, if you are willing, you can have a banquet at the end of the year. I didn't react, and he had already closed the door. I received two messages at the same time in the middle of the night. Huo Jin said, I know I can't give you anything. It's good for you to be with Jim Yuli, but can you please not spend my money on him? Zhang Muli said, it was too presumptuous just now, but I really like you. When we met again the next day, neither of us mentioned this matter. Huo Jin gradually recovered and would come to see me occasionally. Jim Yuli always pretended to be my boyfriend in front of him. I saw Huo Jin, who used to be arrogant, hiding in the distance and feeling sad, which was a bit funny. In the end, I was with Jim Yuli. I let go of Huo Jin in my heart and could accept others. Being with him, I was free and happy. Huo Jin never appeared in my sight again. After Jim Yuli and I got engaged, I heard that he had forced Lin Mi out of death by suffocation. After the police arrested him, he insisted that he had to see me before he could tell the truth. I went to see him for the last time. Suhi, this is a wedding gift for you. It's because of her that we have come to this point. I helped you get revenge. I felt a chill on my back. Huo Jin had changed so much that I didn't recognize him at all. He was taken away by the police. Lin Maya's parents petitioned everywhere and got him sentenced to life imprisonment. Not long after being in prison, Huo Jin committed suicide. His remaining dignity made him not allow himself to become a prisoner. I went to his grave and sent a bouquet of flowers, which meant that we would never have any contact in this life.